Hello, and thank you for joining Nova Healthcare's We'll Show You What's Possible webinar series. My name is Todd Martin. I'm the Chief Sales Officer here. And today we're going to talk a little bit about self-funding. And so what is self-funding? This is a question that comes up a lot at family gatherings when people ask me what I do for a living. So self-funding, it's a little bit different than a fully insured. In a fully insured world, an employer pays a fixed cost once a month. They don't ever really have to think about it till the next invoice comes. In a self-funded plan, an employer pays fixed costs, yes, in the form of a stop loss premium, an administrative fee, but what also they pay for, which changes on a week-to-week, a month-to-month basis, is the claims. So the employer is truly paying claims as their employees go to the doctor and incur those claims. And so when an employer chooses to go a self-funded route, they typically would partner with a third-party administrator such as Nova Healthcare to become the face of the plan. Employers in a self-funded situation, they don't want to process the claims for their employees. They don't want to service all of the members' questions. HR obviously has enough on their plate already. They don't want to do medical management so that those that are chronically ill are taking care of themselves. So typically they would partner with a TPA to become the face of the plan, but behind the scenes, the self-funded employer is actually almost like an insurance company, assuming much of the risk in regards to paying the claims. So what is the biggest difference between self-funding and fully insured? So I always personally use myself as an example. Up until a couple of years ago, I was on a single plan. That today I'm on a family, but that's another story. When I'm a single on a plan, depending on what the plan design looks like, let's just use round numbers like $600. So if Todd is on a fully insured plan, my employer is probably paying $600 a month, which equates to $7,200 a year for me to have health insurance. Now, at the end of the day, knock on wood, I actually only go to the doctor once a year for my annual physical. That annual physical probably would cost the insurance company $150. So if you take a look at the difference between a fully insured and self-funded plan, if I'm on a fully insured plan, my employer is paying $7,200 a year for me to essentially get $150 in benefit, which would be that annual physical. Now, if I was on a self-funded plan, my employer would actually just pay the claim as they come in or when I went to the doctor. So now instead of paying $7,200 a year out the window to an insurance company, they're literally paying for Todd's claim when he goes to the annual physical, and they're the ones that are funding the $150. So obviously, in my instance, the fully insured carrier is winning, and the employer in the self-funded instance is losing. So when you're self-funded, the employer is paying for all of the claims that come in, but they're also customizing their plans to meet the needs. Every population is a little bit different. Everybody's needs are a little bit different. And with the transparency that you get with self-funding, you understand the claims data of your population. You understand what's driving the cost. It could be prevalent disease states. It could be utilization patterns. In a self-funded world, the employer truly owns the plan and they get to customize what that plan design looks like. If I'm an employer purchasing a fully insured plan, I'm basically buying an off-the-shelf product. If I go to a fully insured carrier, I might have 5 or 6 different options. There's zero flexibility to I guess, make that plan more flexible to meet your needs as an employer. And more often than not, you're getting very little claims data. So in the fully insured space, you're paying money out the window, you're not seeing any claims data, and you really lose a lot of control to make an impact and increase your bottom line, because more often than not, an employer is obviously paying their payroll, but their second biggest expense more often than not is healthcare. So if you can come up with some strategies through a self-funded solution that you can't get in the fully insured space, why not do it, right? We're all here, we're all trying to control costs. So the biggest difference between the two is really how the claims are funded. In a self-funded space, The employer pays claims as they're incurred in process. In a fully insured space, the employer, they're really just sending money out the door without the opportunity to get any money back. And so when you have a really healthy population, the fully insured carriers are winning. So if you think about a really healthy population and a self-funded arrangement, the employer can be the one winning. So really, how do you know if self-funding is the best fit for you? Well, if you want insight and clarity into what's driving the cost within your health plan, then self-funding is the right fit. If you want flexibility in your health plan, then self-funding is the right fit. I will tell you that there are a lot of employers out there that might not necessarily feel comfortable with funding a different amount of claims on a weekly basis, and they just want to pay a fixed amount like they're fully insured. In those instances, there's different types of products and solutions, like level funded solutions. Other employers might be concerned about the people that incur more than $150 in claims on an annual basis, like Todd does. Well, we also can purchase third party stop loss protection, where in that instance, the employer has a cap against their catastrophic risk to protect them against any cash flow concerns. I will tell you in 100% transparency, self-funding might not be the right fit for you. In those instances, if you have a very maybe aging demographic that has a lot of high dollar claims, whether they be medical or pharmacy, maybe you're better off being fully insured. If you're an employer that may be struggling to make payroll because business is down and cash flow is struggling, fully insured might be a better fit for you and not self-funding. But in more often instances than not, if you want to gain control, if you want to gain transparency, you want to gain flexibility and have the opportunity to have return on your investment in terms of improving the outcomes, which ultimately controls the cost of your plan, self-funding with a strong TPA like Nova Healthcare would be the best fit for you. So our philosophy here at Nova Healthcare, we do the right thing because it's the right thing to do, and we're going to do it the right way. And so a lot of people have historically tried to control healthcare costs by shifting a lot of that cost burden down to the members and to the employees. The problem with that is really what's that doing is just creating barriers to care for the membership. And when you have barriers to care, people aren't managing their conditions, they're not taking care of themselves. So really, part of our philosophy is to control costs, you have to improve the outcomes. So if we can create a healthier population, that's going to be a win for the employer. So thank you for checking out our webinar today. Please see our socials on the screen there and follow us, and have a great day.